Hey everyone, happy Friday. We are wrapping up our weekly We the People of Washington live stream. Tony, how are you?
I am fantastic. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm just petting my dog. She just wants some pets right now. She's hanging out with me today.
I just
So,
kicked mine out. Hmm.
yeah,
So,
so we're talking about a very controversial bill coming down the pike this executive session, or sorry, not executive session, legislative session here in Washington state. And it is the bill to basically strip the sheriff's position from the people. So the county sheriff's position from the people, which is the only constitutional position that exists in Washington State, elected position. So let's talk about that.
all right, should we play his video first and listen to his testimony? A lot of the police officers, I didn't really realize what was happening yesterday while I was there. And so I'm kind
Mm.
of pissed that I missed it because I would have loved to gone and sit in on this. Um, but a lot of the sheriffs were actually there giving testimony about this bill. And so this was Swank's testimony, and he actually has gotten a huge amount of grief for it.
Can you make it full screen? I think you might.
Yeah, I was
There you
just.
go.
Is
There
that
we
better?
go. Yep.
Okay.
Oh, you're at 129. Yeah, let's back it up. There we go.
All right. So.
Oh no, you hit
Thanksgiving
next.
dinner?
Oh,
Don't panic. You've got eggs, lad.
oh, goody! A 30-second ad.
So
I've watched.
we are learning.
Times.
We are learning as we go.
Oh, so
we're gonna
funny.
get this video thing down one day. Huh.
I'm telling you, I have other screens to share, so it's a learning in progress.
Yeah, you might have to hit back on it because it might not play it. Yep, see, it's on a different video.
Okay.
There we go. Yeah, watch.
I wanted his full testimony. There we go. Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Can you hear it?
Nope. It's not even on the screen.
Oh, I know why. Hold on. Because I had to open up a new one. Oh, bear with me.
All good.
Okay, here we go.
No, you have to put it on the stage.
Oh, well,
so rewind it. Yeah, rewind it and then.
I don't know. Maybe I should have sent you the link.
No, you'll get it. This is all part of the process. You know what I mean? We don't have any live viewers right now anyway, so. Here, I'm going to add it to the screen. Oh, what is that? Another 30-second
commercial.
Ad. Yay.
Right?
Great. Is that a jeans commercial? What is
I think so.
Jeez.
Wrangler. All right. Let's see.
My colleagues naively believe that they can come here and reason with you.
Can you hear it?
Understand
Can you
what's
turn
at
it up?
stake here. They don't understand you like I do. You're going to pass this qualification bill for law enforcement, but you won't hold yourselves accountable. The colleagues naively believe that they can come here and reason with you. They don't understand what's at stake here. They don't understand you like I do. You're going to pass this qualification bill for law enforcement, but you won't hold yourselves accountable. Therefore, I propose everyone who runs for an elected office go through a background check, a social media review, a polygraph, a psychological test. But Democrats, you won't agree to that because you have convicted felons who are elected officials here. I represent almost 1 million people, more than all of you combined here. Many more people. I wasn't elected chief of police. Being sheriff of Pierce County is much more than police work. Citizens reach out to me all the time regarding overreach of the government by you. Some say they finally have a voice because of me, and you want to silence it because I said transgender women are men. I said the truth. You want to give unelected bureaucracy the ability to decertify me and remove me from office because you don't agree with my speech. Just for the record, my deputies don't wear masks, but once you pass this law that they can't, I will not only allow them, but I will encourage them to do so just to see what you do. I don't recognize your authority to impose these controls over me, and when you try to remove me from office, thousands of Pierce County residents will surround the county city building in downtown Tacoma and will not allow that to happen. I hope it doesn't come to that, but I and they are prepared. Are you prepared? Finally, anyone who votes for this will never have an audience with this sheriff.
Thank you. Could I have you identify yourself for the record? I'm sorry, that is not what we do at public hearings, and you will be asked to be removed if that continues. I'm sorry, Sheriff, for the record, we do need you to identify yourself by name.
Keith Swank.
I'm sorry, can I have you come do that at the mic so we can capture that information?
My name is Keith Swank, Pierce County Sheriff.
Thank you so much. And now,
Jesus. Wow.
Right?
He's not messing around.
No, I love him. I love how much he is not going to put up with any crap.
So our local sheriff here, he is a lot more cordial and a lot more respectful, but he is a constitutional sheriff at the same time, and he has a ton of support as well in the community. So it's the one position in law enforcement that's actually elected. We have 4 cities here in Pierce County, Pacific County, and there are 2 police chiefs because 2 of the cities contract with the other cities for police, work or whatever, and they are not elected.
Right.
Those police chief are not elected. They're not accountable to the people. They are working on behest of the city councils and the mayors of those cities. And the county sheriff is the only one that is accountable to the people. They can get removed by the people, voted out. Our last sheriff got voted out by a big margin because he was, a POS, and no one liked him. So, yeah, it's interesting to see what happens in this situation if they strip the ability of the citizens to elect their own sheriffs. And not only that, they are going to end up appointing them from what? The state house? From
The mayors. Now how it's done in Seattle is the mayor appoints, and then the city,
mayor.
yeah, and then the city council approves.
Well, that's the police chief. King County, it's not the mayor of Seattle that decides.
You're right.
That's the police chief
Right.
of the city of Seattle, right?
Right.
So the county sheriff, not only do they oversee all unincorporated areas, but they back up, all the cities, the incorporated areas. Even if they have their own police force, they're still there to enforce the law. I've talked about this before, is that our sheriff, very constitutional, and he cut the drug task force here. Now, a lot of people push back against that, but he gives good reasoning why. Because in Washington State, you can't really get prosecution for possession charges. And what was happening is that he was, they were charging these people with possession of drugs, and the county prosecutor would drop the case. Yeah. So then those people will go right back out on the street and continue doing what they're doing. So it didn't do anything. However, if you go after the other crimes around drug use, like theft and assault and some of the things that are going on that are actually infringements on the rights of the citizens, then you can get convictions. Then the prosecutor will move forward. So,
yeah. Well, I know Swank is always in the news around here. I don't know how much it makes it through the state, but he's always in the news around here because he's always he's always on the right side to me. Do you know what I mean? And I can't give you an example. Glenn follows him far more than I do because Glenn is really, really big into the sheriffs being the ones who are supposed to, be there for us, so to speak, right?
Absolutely. Yep.
And so he follows him a lot more than I do. But I know every time I turn around, he's like, Swank's in the news again, Swank's in the news again. And it's always because he's standing up to people. And he's always, they do not like him. And this bill is for sheriffs like him.
Yeah. Well, it would give a state board the power to remove an elected sheriff. So you're talking about giving unelected bureaucrats the power to remove an elected sheriff? Like, that is an abuse of power, big time. Like, that is abuse of our constitutional rights to be able to choose our elected officials in this representative oligarchy that we have.
Yeah. Well, and from my understanding, then once the board removes them and replaces them, you no longer get the ability to vote for the sheriff. So
interesting.
That's how I understand the bill, is that that's what they're going towards, right? And so the sister bill to this is the one for the AG's office. That's the one that's in the Senate. So there's the House bill, which is this one that's taking them, right, that can have them removed. And then the other bill is giving the AG's office the power to sue the agencies. So when they're not listening to what the state wants you to do, and if they're not compliant enough, then they can be sued, and then it'll go to the board, and then they'll be removed. So they're making sure that all their bases are covered.
Jeez.
But I think
the citizens would never have a chance to vote again for the sheriff.
Yeah.
Wow.
They're
just making shit up. They're making shit up as they go.
Yeah, and I think that these actually started in 2024, like they were filed in 2024. So this has actually been going on for a while. So I think that maybe this is the first time that it's really reached committee, possibly. Yeah. Or it went to committee before and it didn't go through, but they almost have a super majority. They're one shy of having a super majority in Washington, in Olympia, the Democrats. And then we're so screwed.
Yeah.
I mean, we are now, right? I mean, I heard repeatedly yesterday that they know that they do not have any say in what happens. Like
your Republican representative. Yeah.
Our Republican representatives that I went and met with yesterday, all three of them, we have no chance. There's nothing that we can do.
Yep.
And I tell you what, though, that gives me hope, because I believe that we can, as we the people, because we are not Democrat or Republican. We care about these same issues and we want to fix things. And so we bring in both sides, is where I think that, we have a shot at actually fixing this stuff, and gives me hope. But it was really kind of depressing. I mean, I really enjoyed my time, but to hear them say, like, unconstitutional or not, they'll do it, because who's going to stop them?
Yeah. And so we have to get working on recruiting some state house candidates.
Yeah.
Especially in uncontested districts or super majority districts where it's only a Republican or only a Democrat that's going to be on the ballot. Those are the ones where we're going to make the biggest difference, because if we can win, and it's going to be in those districts. So if you're watching this on replay and you're thinking about running for office, like, we don't have any state house candidates currently, and we need some big time.
Yeah.
So you could be the dissenting voice, the voice of reason at the Capitol.
Right. And remember, these are paid positions. I was a little snarky, but I had this guy commenting on something yesterday and implying like, what are you doing? I was like, well, I'm actually going to the Capitol today to talk to my legislators. What are you doing? Like, and he's like, I'm looking for a job. I'm like, okay, well, I wish I would have thought fast enough to be like, if you want to do something and you want to have a voice, then why don't you run for office? Like a lot of them are paid positions, You need something to do. Like, let's go make a difference together.
Yeah. But if someone is unemployed, running for office makes that very difficult, not having any money to do that, to get around and meet constituents. And if you're struggling to pay bills,
Yeah.
So.
No, I get it. It was just, it's like if everybody wants to point fingers at what you're not doing, but what are you doing to work towards making it better? So, but running for office would be an amazing way. I put the links.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I put the links to the bills in the comments, in case people want to go look at those themselves and they can interpret it themselves. But we have to be emailing and calling, and especially if you're in legislative districts that are Democrat, and calling and making sure that they know that you do not agree with this at all.
Yeah, unfortunately, where I live, I've got 2 Republican state representatives and a Republican senator that are all against it. Jim Walsh is my representative, so if that gives you any idea.
Yeah, he was on there today. He has a really common sense approach to everything, so I do like listening to him, but I get a little disheartened that he's not more vocal about standing up against them. I mean, he is, but then he's got like the common sense approach of, I can't remember what it was that I heard him say, but I was like, I wish he would speak more aggressively, maybe.
Well, I like Jim, but he's come out pro ICE and he's super pro Trump and, against anyone, trying to film ICE agent. Like, it's just ridiculous. I wish that, and that just shows the difference between Republicans, Democrats, and we the people. Like, we would stand up for everyone's rights, whereas Republicans are like, don't tread on me, as in me, don't tread on me, but we can tread on you, right? And then, I look at us as, don't tread on anyone. Let's not tread on anyone. Where are people being treaded on? Let's stop that. Let's stop the treading. No treading.
Right.
So
I always use the example for that of free speech. If you can stand up for the speech that you hate the most and say that they deserve to have it, then you're doing it right. You might not like what the KKK has to say, right? But they have a right to say it, and you have to support them saying it.
Well, support their right to say it. However,
I'm not saying believe in what they believe in, or that's like no. That's I don't agree with them for. Yeah, okay. God forbid I have to clarify that, but but that's like the most hateful speech that I can think of.
And I want them to say it publicly. You know why? Because I want to know who they are.
Right.
So
I
don't associate with them. Like, oh, that guy, red flag, big red flag, giant flag that is red.
Yes, 100%. But they have the right to say it just as much as we have the right to say what we believe. And, and I think, speech has just gotten out of hand with people thinking that they have the right to control what people say.
Well, look at the UK. It's like they arrested 18,000 people last year for social media posts. 18,000. The most in any country.
Yeah.
More than Iran, more than, some of these so-called evil countries, more than Russia. The UK did that.
Yeah. Yeah. People don't believe that either when you tell them that. People actually don't believe that that's happening. But that is exactly what will happen here I 100% believe that that is what's coming, and it doesn't matter who's in office. It doesn't matter if it's a Republican or a Democrat. They don't want you speaking out against them on either side. So it does not matter who it is. And if we don't have a constitutional sheriff to say, no, we're not arresting that person because that's ridiculous, then what do we do? There's a lot of bad stuff coming down the pipe. That West Coast Health Alliance. The minute that they have everything in place, this is what I believe, conspiracy theorist at heart. But as soon as they have all of these different things in place between the healthcare stuff and the sheriff, and they're gonna be able to do whatever they want, mandates all you want, all they want, and we're gonna have absolutely no power to say no.
Yeah.
I mean, we will, but very limited. So
yeah, I mean, what happens if they put another mandate through and have their appointed sheriffs push it, and carry the torch for that? See, I live in the county and no one's going to say anything to me, and back when the mask mandates were in place and I would go everywhere without a mask, no one would say anything to me. But when Danielle went anywhere without a mask, like, they would pounce on her. And it's just pathetic that these people would pick on, a woman.
Right. Helpless woman.
But not me.
Yeah.
Well, I also open carry too. So it's like, he's got a gun. I'm not saying shit to him. He's got a gun. But the thing is, it's like she literally would ask me to come to the store with her because they wouldn't say anything to her if she was with me.
Right.
It's pathetic in my mind. Right. But if she'd go in there alone, then they'd say something to her.
Right. I have a much bigger mouth than Glenn. So if anybody ever, I'm the one who speaks up more than him because he's like, should I say something? I'm like, I will.
Move over.
Yeah, I got this.
It's my time to shine.
Yeah. So I love that stuff.
Yeah, we need to get Glenn to post a video about the sheriffs, right?
Yeah. We were just talking
video.
about it last night. He's been working long hours right now, so
no worries.
So I think this weekend we might have some downtime.
Even if it's a 30-second clip, right? We can clip it up, but we need to get that up, and that now is the time to promote that. Have Glenn do it. Not me, not you, but Glenn, because he's running for governor. So yeah, for sure. Yeah, we'll have to plan that this weekend and set some time aside. Cool.
Which, if you're not doing anything tomorrow, I won't be home. You guys could just have fun with stuff tomorrow.
Actually, yeah, we could actually hop on StreamYard. I'll change the settings like this, and then we can do a video together.
I'll show you how to do it so that you can just record it, and then it doesn't have to even be live.
Nice. Yeah, I think I know how to do that.
Yeah. Anyway.
Cool. So this is another thing too. If you're thinking about running for office, we'd love to get you on the show to talk to you about the issues that you care about, and we can create some reels and some marketing pieces based on what you believe, right? We need candidates out there. And even if, you want to run as a quote unquote paper candidate, which basically means, we get a website up and you respond to media interviews, maybe do some content, but you're not out there knocking on doors and doing all that kind of stuff, which is totally fine. Like, we need those candidates too. We need to get our issues out there. We need to get people aware of the tyranny that's coming, because it is coming, because this sheriff's bill is directly related to the West Coast Health Alliance. I guarantee it.
Absolutely.
Directly related. So.
And to so many other things that they want to do.
Because look at all the red counties. Like, there's way more red counties than there are blue counties. And the red counties, if the West Coast Health Alliance tries to implement mandates again, guess what? Those red counties are pushing back. And if they have sheriffs that are going to push back as well, their mandates aren't going to mean shit. But if they remove the sheriffs, because this unelected board said, Well, the sheriff in Pierce County is endangering the population by not forcing them to get vaccinated or not forcing them to wear masks or whatever it is. Then they remove that sheriff, implement or bring in some new sheriff that agrees with them 100% and then uses the entire sheriff's department to enforce their mandates. Like, that is dangerous territory. Like,
Yeah.
if you're upset about all this ICE stuff, like, it's going to get worse because this is the Democrat version of ICE.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, I mean, people don't realize how much it goes hand in hand, right? I mean, you know, they want to do a bill that's, as far as I can tell, completely unconstitutional as well. The for immigrants, where it will fine employers if they allow ICE agents into their business to go through their records. If they are forced with fines to defy ICE. If you don't, if you allow ICE in and you don't say no to the federal agent, then you get fined by the state of Washington.
Yeah, this is interesting times we're living in.
Yeah.
Very
And then
interesting.
if we have no sheriff who says no, that's wrong, then that's going to, I mean, be enforced even more. I mean, it just, all of this goes together. And then, you know, people don't even realize, you know, that I do not have a lot of desire to totally get into this, but you know, the Vance talking about going door to door and with his statement.
Oh my gosh, what a horrible idea.
Yeah. And, yeah, I don't
Nazi Germany, anyone? It's like, they don't want to be called Nazis, but then they want to implement policies that the Nazis implemented, you know, going door to door to find out where the Jews are hiding, right?
And they justify it. They justify it. It blows my mind that people don't just hear door to door and go, oh no, not okay. And the fact that Republicans are being okay with this now, you know, when you start being able to justify it for one thing because you like it, then that means that it can be justified for something you don't like. What happens when the Democrats, we have no sheriff, we have no support, and they want to go door to door here in Washington state to take your guns or something? You know, that's like always been the line, but you've just destroyed the reasoning behind not being able to do that by saying that you're okay with it for this instance. Like, people don't understand what they're doing to
it's
ourselves.
crazy, because if you talk to those same people, they're going to be like, oh, I love the Constitution. We need the Constitution. First Amendment, Second Amendment, Third Amendment. Maybe not the Fourth Amendment. You know what I mean? Like, that's what they're basically saying. Like, oh, the Constitution's great, except the amendment that protects individuals from unreasonable searches and seizures by the government, the one that ensures privacy and security in their person's home, papers, and effects, requiring warrants to be supported by probable cause and specific descriptions. Like,
we were joking around about this. Not joking. I was pretty pissed off, but we were talking about it the other night, and I was like, you know, I would love for them to show up at my door. Go ahead and show up at my door, because I will tell them I support what you're doing. No, you're not coming in my house. You can get off my property.
Well, call me up because I'm bailing you out.
Yeah, I'm just, you know, it's like, I support what they're doing. I think it's great if we're going after the illegals and the ones that came in here illegally and they're not doing right by us and they need to go. I don't disagree. But have you seen all the videos of like American citizens being drugged out of their job? And then they get in the car after they've beat the crap out of them, realize that, oh, they are an American citizen. They just shove them out the car and go.
Yeah, they just drop them off and leave. Yeah, I've seen it in multiple videos just because they're brown. You know, I don't look that brown, but in summer I get brown. Like.
Yeah, I know. Could you get stopped? Yeah. You know, I mean, like, people don't understand what's happening, and we've taken the humanity out of so much of it and we don't think of anything as real people anymore, is what I've come to believe,
You know, I
And
think go
yeah,
ahead. Sorry.
no, I was just going to say, and if we don't do something about the sheriff's bill, that's going to get worse here over things that that we are against.
I think that if I ever get stopped by ICE, I'm going to use a Spanish accent when talking to them, just so they'll pull me in the car. Hey, man.
That's funny. Well, I have friends on like that run the whole spectrum. I have friends who have come here and gotten and have become citizens. I have friends who have come here illegally and now have their green cards or their work permits or whatever. I know people that are here illegally working. And, the thing that makes the whole, I've always had an issue with the whole immigration thing because it's so broken. And
the system's broken.
And until we fix that, I don't think that there's any way, to really fix the problem. Because on one hand, we tell people that it's illegal for you to come here. You can't work. It's illegal for you to hire them. But we know it's going to happen. So we're going to give you this 9-digit code, not a social security number. It's not a social, but we're going to give you this 9-digit number so that you can file taxes on the money that you're illegally making.
Yeah. Larry Sharp has a really good solution for this. He wants to go back to like Ellis Island style immigration, right? Where it's not going to take 10 years. It might take 10 days for someone to get into the country. They do the background check. They do, infectious disease testing, right? They're checking to make sure that the people that are coming in are not criminals. Or violent criminals, right? And they're going to be productive members of society, because we have too many people on welfare as it is. We have too many people leeching off the system as it is. Look at the deficit. Now, I'm not saying the deficit is because of welfare. There's warfare is a huge part of the deficit, so I don't want to put that out there. Foreign aid is a huge part of the deficit. But something has to be cut. The budget is unsustainable. I was talking to a candidate yesterday, and the big thing is reduce taxes is great, but you got to reduce spending at the same time. And all this fraud going on, there is so much that can be cut, and we have to balance the budget. And then when we cut the spending, then we can cut the taxes, so you have more money to be able to do what you want, to live a happier, more prosperous life, to provide a better life for your family and your friends and yourself, because right now we're getting stolen from every way they possibly can. I'm surprised we don't get taxed by the breaths we take.
Well, there is that.
If they can figure that out. Oh yeah, carbon tax.
Shh, careful, you're gonna have to start buying credit.
Ideas, yeah.
Yeah, I'll tell you. I know we're over, but I started going through the budget and going with the tips that I was given when I was up at the Capitol, and it's very interesting because
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. Just one little tidbit: they have added a 2% up to a 2% increase on everything that I've seen so far every year. Every year from now, the gas tax will go up inflation up to 2%.
People don't realize that all
zero end in sight.
Yeah, all these increases, they add to the bottom line. It's the reason why groceries are so expensive here in Washington State, because gas prices are up. Guess what? The truck that gets the products to the grocery store, they're having to pay more per mile, and in some places almost double from what they're paying. You get one of my buddies sent me a picture in Mississippi. It was $1.89 a gallon, and I'm looking, it's $4.59 a gallon. It's wow, dude, how are we twice as expensive?
Yeah.
Because the truck that also has to use gas to drive the gas to the gas station, it's more expensive for that. And the business and occupation tax and the labor and industries tax on top of that. And list out the other taxes that they have, the carbon tax on top of that for gas,
Yeah.
you know, for fuel.
Yeah. Well, and they
So-
tell us when they you know, because I didn't understand, like it said like 10, like we haven't raised the gas tax in 10 years. So I was like, okay, but gas has gone up every year. Gas goes up constantly and has gone up. So where's
Yeah.
that money coming from? Well, the carbon credits, right? All these companies are forced to buy carbon credits, which I have never understood. I mean, I understand what they do. It's not logical to me at all. And so they have to buy these carbon credits that fluctuate. So there's no set rate. So they fluctuate and they're auctioned off, and you buy however many carbon credits you need. And they pass this stuff off as though we're charging the companies. We're not charging you. It's not a tax on you. We're charging the companies. But I'm not sure where the disconnect is for people who keep voting these idiots. Who keep voting these people in, that is on us. They're not going to pay it. What's going to happen when we add this income tax for millionaires? They're going to just raise their prices at whatever businesses they own to recoup whatever money they're losing.
They're going to move to Texas. They're going to move to Florida. They're going to move to Arizona. They're going to move to states with no income tax. And they're going to say, peace out. Like, it's beautiful here in Washington State. I love it. I don't want to move. But at the same time, like, for example, that carbon tax thing, when I started the business, they sent me a letter. There was an environmental fee and a carbon tax, and I just threw it away. It didn't get a response after that. It's been years.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't want to participate in some bullshit. Like, I'm not buying carbon taxes to make some supplements for dogs. Like, like, come on.
The whole thing, we can totally get into that, because I that has never been a logical thing to me.
No.
At all. So anyway, I guess we should stop renting. But I did put all the links in there. The link to our website, if you'd like to make a donation. We're receiving donations all the time. Just got another donation. Was it last night or this morning?
Last night. Yep.
Yeah.
$20. Thank you so much.
Yep. That pays for ads. It's awesome. So if you guys want to go there and check that out. And then I also put the links to the bills that we've been talking about today for the sheriffs. So let us know when you want to run for office. You can find all that information on our website. And did I miss anything?
Nope. That's
all right. Cool.
Awesome.
All right. Have a good night and a good weekend.
Yes. We'll see you on Monday.
All right. Bye.